So, exactly how did we get here? I'm about to tell you. Welcome back to Broad Culture. I'm Spencer, of course. But this time, I'm not even going to be talking about wrestling in this video. No, 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 no. I'm finally going to be talking about other sports. More specifically, hockey and the NHL. Guess what, hockey fans? We've reached it. We finally got to the 2018 Stanley Cup Finals. It'll be the Vegas Golden Knights representing the West and the Washington Capitals representing the East. And at the end of the series, only one team gets the honor of hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup. But the question is, who? Let's take a look at our contenders. From the Western Conference, we have the Vegas Golden Knights, who in their first season have defied all expectations and not only have gotten into the playoffs, but got to the Stanley Cup Finals. I know, that's pretty amazing for this team's first season. They're the first team since the 1967-1968 St. Louis Blues to do such a feat. The only difference between the Vegas Golden Knights and the St. Louis Blues of 67 and 68 is that the Blues entered at a time where their entire division was made up of expansion teams, and only one of those expansion teams got to go in and play for the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately for St. Louis, they didn't win. That honor went to the Montreal Canadiens. The Vegas Golden Knights are the first team, as an expansion team, in any league in general, to make it to their respective championship in year one. This is the literal first time. This isn't like any divisions that are made up of expansion teams. They came into a division that has been notorious for being hard in the past. But now they've proven themselves to be the top dog of the Pacific Division. And not only that, the top dog in the Western Conference. How did they get here? I'm going to tell you. Their first round came to face... In the first round, they faced the Los Angeles Kings. Basically, the royalty series, the Knights versus the Kings. The Knights won 4 games to none. So poor LA. They got blown out. Then in the second round, the Knights took on the San Jose Sharks. That one was a little more competitive, but Vegas got the upper hand, winning 4 games to 2. And of course, just a few days ago, they won the Western Conference Championship over the Winnipeg Jets, 4 games to 1, getting the honor to hoist the Clarence Campbell Bowl. Now, I know before we go on, they touched it. Okay, let's just throw jinxes out the window now because, spoiler alert, both the Knights and the Capitals touched their respective trophies. However, how they carried it out might be the new jinx. I'm just saying. I'll get to that soon. However, looking at the Knights, their record stands 51 wins, 24 losses, and 7 overtime losses, for a total of 109 points. First place in the Pacific Division. Gerard Gallant really had his hands full whenever he got this team of what everyone thought were castaways, except for, of course, goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury. Everyone loves Flower. He became the instant face of the franchise when they drafted him in the expansion draft. But now everyone's going to be saying, wait, Vegas got in their first year? This is rigged. Gary Bettman wants this team to win. He wants to show that hockey can work in the desert. No. And everyone else is going to be throwing the conspiracy theory of, Vegas suffered a tragedy. They're going to win their championship. Look at the Astros in Major League Baseball. Look at the Red Sox in 2013 after the Boston Marathon tragedy. Oh my gosh, guys. What a tragedy can do is just motivate the team further to get to the championship game. Or championship series, in any case. It's not any conspiracy. Vegas had the emotional drive by the fans and even teammates to get this far. I want you to take a look. I don't have it on here, but I want you to listen to some of the stats from the regular season of how good some of these guys were that we all thought, including myself, we're all thinking were castaways. We'll start off at the top. William Karlsson from Columbus. Everyone thought, oh, he's not going to do much. How about this? 43 goals, 35 assists for a total of 78 points during the regular season. How about that? Followed by Jonathan Marchessault from Florida. 27 goals, 48 assists for a total of 75 points. Then it just keeps going. David Perron, Riley Smith, Eric Holla, James Neal, whose jersey I'm sporting. Then Colin Miller, then Alex Tuck, Nate Schmidt, Shea Theodore, Cody Eakin, Derek Englund. The list goes on and on and on. Everyone on this team had an integral part of their success. Even Ryan Reeves, who got traded over to Vegas from Pittsburgh. My team, yeah, I'm just wearing this because I'm picking Vegas to win. I'm going to go ahead and flat out say that. I'm saying Vegas will win in 5 games. That way they win on home ice. Now, back to what I was saying. My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I am a Pens fan, true and true. However, we all know what happened to them during the season. So, not joining a bandwagon, this is just my pick now. This is just my pick for who is going to win now that my favorite team has unfortunately been eliminated from the series, or from the playoffs at least. Who's Vegas playing? Our dreaded rivals, the Pittsburgh Penguins' dreaded rivals, the Washington Capitals. Yeah, surprise, they fooled everybody this year. How did they get here? Well, here's the explanation. Their first round came with them facing the Columbus Blue Jackets, another rival of the Pittsburgh Penguins, but Washington took them out 4-2. Then came the second round, the matchup that everyone was anticipating, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Washington Capitals. And unfortunately for all Pens fans across the nation, this was the year they finally exorcised the demons. Yeah, Washington eliminated Pittsburgh 4-2 in Game 6. Now, here's where things get a little tricky for Washington. Last night, in Game 7, they finally took out the Tampa Bay Lightning to win the series 4-3. That's going to be the problem for Washington this year. I'm glad they got there, but I don't think this is Washington's year. Vegas has a lot more time to rest up. They only had to go 5 games. However, Washington had to go all 7. So yeah, that really isn't going to work out for anybody. They're going to be tired. But you know what? I could be wrong. Washington could finally have the strength to just come back and fly right by the Vegas Golden Knights. But let's take a look at some of the stats for some of their players. The regular season, of course, for Washington. Leading the points is, of course, their team captain, Alexander Ovechkin. 49 goals, 38 assists for a total of 87 points. Followed by Evgeny Kuznetsov, 27 goals, 56 assists for 83 points. Then Nicholas Backstrom, John Carlson, TJ Oshie, Lars Eller, Tom Wilson, Dmitry Orlov, Matt Niskanen. The list goes on and on and on. Even Jay Beagle down there, even though he only has 22 points, he's been an integral part of some of the success for the Capitals. But let's take a look at the playoffs. Who's leading in the playoffs? Evgeny Kuznetsov is leading the points with 24 for the Capitals. Ovechkin's leading the goals with 12. Kuznetsov is also leading the assists with 13. Tom Wilson has 23 penalty minutes to his name, of course. And Braden Holtby only has 2.04 goals against during these playoffs. Not bad in all honesty. But let's take a look at Vegas, shall we? Jonathan Marchessault is leading the points with 18. He's also leading goals with 8. Riley Smith is leading the assists with 14. Brayden McNabb is leading the penalty minutes with 16. and Marc-Andre Fleury has 1.68 goals against. Now that is some good numbers. So much that Fleury and Marchessault are the front runners for the Conn Smythe Trophy for the Golden Knights, while I believe Ovechkin and Kuznetsov are the front runners for the Conn Smythe Trophy for the Washington Capitals. My picks for the Conn Smythe winner for either team. I say if Vegas actually ends up winning the Stanley Cup this year, that Conn Smythe Trophy, which for those of you who don't know, the Conn Smythe Trophy is presented to the MVP of the playoffs. So therefore, my pick would definitely be Marc-Andre Fleury for his outstanding goal saving during the season. Now, should Washington win the Stanley Cup this year, I wholeheartedly believe that the Conn Smythe will go to Alex Ovechkin, just because, for one, he hasn't had the chance to even play in the Stanley Cup the finals before. Two, he has been unstoppable with goals. And three, it's just Ovechkin. It just kind of makes sense for him to win it for the Capitals if they win the Stanley Cup. But like I said before, I don't think this is the year for the Capitals. I honestly believe maybe give them a couple more years and they might actually win it all. I wholeheartedly believe that this year Vegas is going to set the impossible bar for any expansion team in the future and win the Stanley Cup. Win the entire thing in their first year. But nobody saw this coming. They had unimaginable odds to even be in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think there was 250 to 1 to even be in the finals. I believe. It was either 250 to 1 or 500 to 1. For them to win it all was even bigger odds. So everyone who's been betting, they're about to make some big money. But if you want the opinions of the other people on this channel, I have them except for Hal's. I messaged them over our message group, and I asked, who do you think is going to win, and in how many games? John's answer was Vegas in 4. He is expecting a Vegas blowout. Or as he put it, Knights blowout. However, Dash, on the other hand, our good buddy Dash Ireland, is believing this is the year for the Capitals and that the Capitals are actually going to win in 4, which in that case would make them winning it on home ice at Capital One Arena in DC. I honestly want Vegas to win, but I want them to win it at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. I want to see it happen. Who do you believe has the chance to actually win this year? Is it Vegas or is it Washington? Who do you think is going to win and in how many games? Thank you for taking the time to at least listen to my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments down below. If you haven't checked out our channel before, please like it. Please like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more. We have a lot more coming at you in the next few weeks. Probably some more music reviews, some more booking wars, some book the future. And hopefully Hal will start posting some of his videos and also take time to welcome our newest member, Will. He may be coming on to give some life advice for those who may need it. He has a lot of knowledge of life, of course. But please, feel free to see some other videos of ours, whether you actually click on our channel or click up here in the corner up above me. But thank you again for taking the time to listen to my rambling about hockey. Peace and love, guys. God bless. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.